All right, we are live. Hey guys, welcome to the Final Click with Ronnie, Soud, and Dania joining us again today. This is the marketing show bringing you news and information from the front lines. We share all of our experiences, I would say good and bad, working with clients so that it could help you move forward with your marketing and grow sales. So we have an awesome topic for you today. Probably my favorite thing to discuss, which is conversion optimization. It goes by a lot of different names. It's CRO is the common acronym within the industry, stands for conversion rate optimization. And basically what it deals with is getting your website and your content to more efficiently convert traffic. So the traffic that comes to your website from various channels, if it's search, if it's social, if it's email, it is the art and the science and the tactics that you use to get that traffic to convert more efficiently, which thus lowers your cost per lead or your cost per acquisition and makes all of your marketing and advertising efforts more profitable. So we're gonna dive in here. Dania, I don't know if this is as favorite of a topic for you as it is for me, but
it is, because basically it's just about how we're going to achieve our clients' goals. So obviously it's a topic of interest.
Exactly. And, I thought that this was a good show topic today because oftentimes, probably 95% of the time I get called, people think they always have a traffic issue, right? I want to grow sales, i.e. I need more traffic, right? But seldom have they looked at their assets to see if their website, if their ad creative is even positioned good enough to grow sales, right? Before we just start buying and adding more traffic on top of it. And in my opinion, as a marketer, it is in even two-part equation, right? You do need quality traffic, number one. So getting discovery as well as inbound traffic from quality digital sources, running ads that really do, I feel do their justice in the discovery process. And then two, also having a website, having the content, FAQs,
just great images and videos.
Video.
Testimonials are really big.
Exactly. Having all of those elements together to really be able to convert that individual into having interest so that we can follow up with them and hopefully get a sale. So
So
today, go ahead.
Basically, if you don't have a website that converts, putting all your effort and money into getting all the people to your website is just a waste of your time and money and resources. So that's definitely the very first thing you need to focus on before doing anything.
Right. We just got a new client in this week, actually. And so we have his campaign built out. It's paused, but Daniel went through and outlined at least 4 things that we need to improve upon on his site before we actually launch that campaign and start sending traffic to his site. And those were simple things. It's they're not heavy lifting items, but what did it deal with? It's his headline wasn't descriptive.
Right. Making sure there's always a phone number or contact at the very right corner that's highlighted. Just making the service pages a lot more easy to navigate so you can find things a lot easier. Having a contact form at the very bottom of your page is always key because you never know when a person's going to decide to convert. So you always want to be there and ready for that person. The list goes on. There's always something you can improve upon.
I think that's a good point too. Before we dive in and start giving actual examples and some advice, you don't know when they're going to convert, right? And so on average, it's a 22-day buying cycle, which means from the first point that someone sees your ad to the point where they actually make a buying decision. 22 days on average has gone by. And a lot of things influence that time. Typically the higher ticket the item, the longer the buying cycle, right? They take a little longer to actually think and do their due diligence before they actually buy. But, an important thing within those 22 days, they're not sitting around just twiddling their thumbs, thinking to themselves. They're scouring the web, right?
Yep.
And it's, I believe the statistic is 32 touch points within those 22 days with various brands that influence that decision, right?
Right.
And so you want those touch points, one, to come from your brand, and two, to be of good quality and have enough meat to continue to nurture them and sway them as they decide and make a final decision. You don't want a competitor to, come in there and start showing them better content, better reviews, better promotional offer. And that's why, too, it's inbound traffic, it's website experience. And then, sort of like a third that follows closely behind, I would say, is nurturing as well.
Right.
So let's start diving into all of those, and let's get into building good quality traffic, right?
Right.
And so good quality traffic comes in a variety of ways. I think what I want to put back on you is give me an example of a brand that you've discovered brand new and have started kind of moving down and really considering buying from them.
Right. Okay. Well, the very first thing comes to my mind is maybe about a week ago, an influencer that I follow who does like fashion and stuff. She recommended this jewelry brand called Vitally, and I've never heard of them before. She didn't even tag them in the post. She just typed it out on her Instagram story. And, that influenced me right away to just go on Google and Google them. And like we said, when I went on their website, it was really nice. Like they had amazing photography and all their best sellers were laid out right in front of me. And I was able, at the time I wanted, there's the example. Yes.
Okay.
I wanted a ring. They're a little edgy. So I wanted rings. So they're really easy to like click on their products and then click on rings and then pick the color that I wanted. So because I was able to find my product that I wanted so easily, they're able to eventually, we'll get more into it, but they've been able to retarget me with ads of those specific rings that I want. So, sometimes I'll look at a brand that someone mentions and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And then I never think about them ever again. Because, clothing really isn't that important. It's not something I need, like toilet paper or something. But because they've been retargeting me nonstop every single day on Instagram and Facebook, I haven't forgotten about them. And the more I consider them, the more I'm like justifying in my brain why I should get this ring and treat myself to it. So, and it was actually pretty funny. So they have their ring size and stuff. So then I went on Google and I go, okay, how do I measure my ring size? And guess what I saw? It was their ad at the very top.
Oh, yeah.
How to find your ring size. So they know what they're doing, and they're definitely following that 32-step process.
So,
and I think it's going to work.
What was that?
I said, I think it's going to work. I think I'm going to end up buying it too.
Yeah. This is a really eclectic brand.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, one, you discovered this from an influencer. Right. And discovery today comes in a variety of fashions, right? I think sometimes people have ideas, about, oh, I want to take a beach vacation, or I want to go skiing. Those are ideas. So then they kind of start marching down the path a little bit. But then there's pure discovery where you don't have an idea and you're just scrolling through and you see something that you like. Right. And, I feel like this is where businesses, this is your handshake, your elevator pitch, your first impression, your first meeting. You really need to take the time and think, what words do I want to say to a brand new cold prospect? Okay. What image or what video do I want to show to them to introduce myself? Because as you can see here, Dania, she found this company by way of an influencer, which is an absolute growing, I would say, traffic source, right? Paying influencers,
right?
For discovery posts. It intrigued her, so she went to the website to find out more, and then probably based off of her engagement, which is what it sounds like, they're running various other ads. And I love the fact that they have a supporting content piece, right? For you there. So you have a question about, well, how do I size a ring? They go, well, since you were here, we have the answer for you, right?
Exactly.
Don't go to a competitor site for a very common question. Come back to us.
Right. They definitely thought really hard about the process of a buying decision and every question that someone's going to ask while buying their product, and made sure that they're going to be the first people who pop up when they ask that question. So you really need to, when you sell your product or service, you really need to go through all the questions a new person would ask you and develop ads based off of that.
I had a similar situation. So before COVID, we had a whole summer trip planned. And so I started looking for hiking shoes. And I didn't want the big, bulky, North Face or whatever brand. We live in Florida, so we don't buy mountain hiking shoes often. I didn't want those. I wanted like a pair of shoes that had grip on them. And so as I started searching around, naturally, I get served ads then up on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And I came across this company here. It's called Indestructible. And these shoes actually are indestructible. And so they have a steel toe. They have like a mesh, lining thing. You can step on nails. And so let me get to one of the products that I was looking at here. So this pair here, this rider, this is pretty much exactly what I was looking for, right? And their ads and their creative really drew me in, and I was extremely interested in finding out more. So when I come to the website, they do a really great job. A lot of standard information here, but as you scroll down, look at basically them re-emphasizing what their main selling points are. They're stepping on nails. You can run over someone's foot. You can fold them. It has breathable mesh, so on and so forth. And so this is really simple content to add to every single page. But when you have a product or a service with a really unique position within the market, this is so inexpensive to add to really just reinforce the elements that brought the individual to your website in the first place.
Right. And I think it's really great that they added the bottom part to just even the product listing. I feel like sometimes we see clients or people who will just put that on their homepage and think that's good enough. But I think it's really important to repeat your content on every page, because you never really know what page they're going to be going to, like the process of how they're going to buy it or think about their product. So you really just need to have everything in front of their face at all times.
Exactly. I agree. I think, specifically we deal with a lot of local businesses. I think the assumption is that everyone always enters through the homepage. Right. And that is seldom, the case. Today, consumers have just diversified. I know a lot of them here. I actually pulled up another example. You might have done this or not, but I do this a lot. So I don't follow a whole ton, but when I find a brand that I like, I will Google, Vitali Instagram, and I'll take a look at what they actually post. And it gives you a really good window, into their culture. Right. And
I feel like they also, on their website, they integrated their Instagram really well. So when you click on a product, they'll show all the Instagram pictures that are tagged with that specific product. So you're able to see like how it's styled and what it looks like on different types of people. So that really helped with my consideration process and thinking about how I would fit into the brand, which is really important for every single brand.
It is. And, I think it brings up this word personalization has been thrown around so much, but you see a lot of brands really starting to diversify their creative for various age groups, various ethnicities, people of various walks of life, because personalization, you want the person to fit in and to feel like you cater to them in some degree, right?
Right. So that's like, if you're a clothing brand, showing your clothes on all different types of sizes. And, I've seen that with a lot of more examples we'll bring up later. But even for skincare and makeup brands, I've been seeing a lot of male models starting to enter into the website and stuff, which is cool.
We have to take care of ourselves too.
Yeah.
So in talking personally here, what are some of your favorite channels for discovering new things?
I would say definitely Instagram. I would say that's the number one thing that I find stuff from, and YouTube as well. Since I'm really into fashion and makeup and that type of stuff, I get a lot of recommendations from influencers. So they're really heavy on Instagram and YouTube. But also just, that cold prospecting ads that just pop into your feed and you don't even realize that it's an ad and you think it's just someone you follow, and then you click on it. I've been tricked into that many times and it works really well.
I'm the same way. I think my favorite channel for discovery is probably YouTube. I go to YouTube for a lot of questions. I think a lot of people do, right? But I've even started. So, a good example of where, and I think a lot of people, are in this phase too. Let's say that you want to take a summer mountain hiking vacation, right? I utilize YouTube a lot for really starting from square one with my idea. And then I'll type in something like, top US hiking destinations for families. And there's so many great YouTube influencers on there that start giving me, more concrete ideas. And then I sort of take that and run. And so, I go visit those resort websites or destination websites. And then of course, you start to, based upon engagement, you then start to get a lot of the retargeting ads from all of them as well. But, I'm a big YouTube fan. Surprisingly for business stuff, because we buy a lot of different tools and all to help with traffic generation and such. Facebook, I think, does a really good job of serving me ads that I like. And so I've discovered a lot of really new cool tools through Facebook ads. And I would say a lot of those have really helped our business out too. I mean, naturally you don't buy every one, but it gives you the idea of, hey, you know what, maybe I should look into adding that, or, maybe I do need that to help with organization or efficiency or whatever. So, I think both of those are good. Also for discovery, I know Instagram has a really great hashtag highway, I would call it. So if you
their
follow
explore page. I was also going to add, if you think about it from the other end of the perspective, so as marketers, I really like to use Facebook and Instagram because it's so easy to really target who you want to go after. For example, you can, target people with what their job is or who they're employed by or how old their kids are. So it's really good if you have a really specific market. For example, we have a client who has braces for kids. So we're able to really target people who are specifically looking for that at that time or are about to, because their kids are a certain age, and we've been getting really good results with that. So as a marketer, that's my favorite channel. And I pulled a statistic because I love my numbers, and Facebook has 1.55 billion monthly active users. So, I mean, there's so many people to pull from. And even if you have a really small market, Facebook is a great source for targeting those people.
Right. Facebook ads and that's something that, too, I want to drive this point home a little bit that, I feel like local businesses, so where brands are versus where local businesses are, brands will spend some money on discovery content, right? Basically, content that they know is not going to generate an immediate return, but it starts people down the path of interest and considering using their product. And oftentimes the discovery content is the cheapest that you can buy, So your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube ads, even all of the organic stuff. So the organic reach through Instagram by way of hashtags. These are all great areas to start finding new prospects who follow and assimilate with those same hashtags or those same demographics and interest levels as the customers that you want to attract.
Right. And on top of that, kind of brings in our last show when we talked about TikTok and micro learning videos. I feel like that's a really good strategy to use for your content because it doesn't seem as salesy and people are always looking up questions like you mentioned. So that's a really good way to get your brand in front of people who would never really consider you in the first place.
Right. And so this is why, too, we talk about, having a content strategy a lot. Having a content strategy basically means you have an efficient process by which to create a lot of different content. And that's important because there's a lot of different digital channels out there with which to distribute that content. So, too, one thing that I think is different today than in previous years, like, meaning decades ago, the Mad Men era where you really had, a single ad going out on TV and a single ad going in print, a single ad going in radio. Today, we get to launch, literally hundreds of thousands of ads, right?
Right.
And it's very easy and it's cost effective, which allows us to learn what ad creative works best for discovery. And if you're not testing this to see what swells your website traffic and what produces the most engagement, that's where I feel like a lot of marketers, a lot of agencies tend to put things on autopilot, and a lot of businesses do not push the discovery process enough to let's try this new image, right? Let's book another photo sesh. Let's do a new video here. And it's all going towards really understanding what drives new prospects into the website.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I feel like organic social media and organic posting is a really good way to test out new strategy without spending too much money. And you're able to, do A/B testing and see what copy works, what strategy of video, or, this photo shoot worked more than this one. So I feel like we said this last week, but it's really important to always be trying out new ideas and always testing it and not being scared to fail, because again, organic content won't really cost you that much at the end of the day. So definitely recommend doing that.
ABT, always be testing.
Yes.
So, we've been talking about, getting your business discovered by new individuals. Okay. Some of the more popular channels, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, that people use for discovery. So if you have a business and you're not developing content to put into those channels to find new customers, one, you better get on the ball. But then two, also be persistent, I would say, and find the ad creative, find the images, find the words, find the videos that generate the interest in the prospects into your website, right? So, I would say be relentless with that, because in order for all of us to grow, we need a steady stream of new sales, from new individuals, new prospects. And that has to happen every single month. So I would say really be relentless with this particular conversion optimization tactic.
Right. I think a really good example of a relentless strategy is the Sweat app by Kayla, who basically the app is a free, well, it's not free, it's a workout program where you pay by month or year. And I think maybe about a year ago, when I just started moving to Florida and I was researching different gyms and stuff, I think that's where she found me. And then I started getting their ads nonstop for like a year. And, I already signed up to a gym, so I wasn't really into it, but I saw her ads anyways. And then quarantine hit and I didn't want to go to the gym anymore. So guess who the first person I thought of was? It was her.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's a really good way where, you might seem like you're being annoying or your efforts aren't going to get effects, but you never really know what's going to happen in the future. And you always want to be the first brand on a person's mind when they do start entering your market. So I visited her website during quarantine, and now I'm really getting her ads every day. I'm getting her emails. I see her ads on other apps, on YouTube. And I kind of think this segues into our next topic, which is quality website content.
Right.
She's a great example because with diversity, she shows so many different testimonials. They even have a forum online. So she's a perfect example of me seeing how I can fit into a brand without, I'm not a super crazy fitness person. I like to exercise maybe, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe less if I'm feeling lazy, but I definitely can see myself using this app and all my questions on it are answered. So I might end up making the purchase, but I think she's a really good example of relentless marketing and how it works.
Oh, accept all cookies. Yeah. Yeah, she is. Too, I want to go back to her ads. I think she did a really great job. One, we don't know what's a prospecting ad and what's a retargeting ad, but this right here, this is Facebook ad library. So you can go and find anyone's page in the world. And if they're running ads, it'll pull the ads up. But, I love the fact, if I had to guess, I would say this is probably a prospecting video here where she has a chair workout. And, basically she's giving you value and something for free and saying, hey, try my style for free. And if you like this, click to my website, you can see what I have to offer. And so, she's giving you a workout, split squats, tricep dips, alternating bent leg raise. And I'm very familiar with her too. I've actually done some of her workouts, so I like them. But here, if I had to guess, I would say that this is probably a prospecting ad. And
I believe it is. That's definitely the ads I kept seeing throughout the year.
Yeah, because it sucks you in and it immediately starts you using the brand completely free. Then if you like, one, because, Daniel watched the video or clicked through to the website, she then gets all of the retargeting ads. They do a good job of diversifying content, speaking to the community here, hashtag BBG community.
Right.
And I'm sure that she, has ones with advice. One of the most popular requests I receive is for an at-home cardio alternatives. So, she's running these as ads because people have previously engaged with the video or the website. And so she's just keeping the value train going, right?
Right.
So you're right. This is a fantastic example. And then, here's all of her trainers here. I know she added in a bunch more, basically to, if you want a different style, she now offers it. So if you want gym workouts instead of at home, or, if you're looking for easier stuff or, harder, more weightlifting, they now offer and diversify that. So they do a good job of, showing the team here and how diverse their body types are so that you can fit into one of their, body types as well.
And they have the headline that says train your way, which is really cool.
Good point. So in talking about, so we've been talking about getting people to the website. All right. Now we're on the website. What experiences should people be having? One, that is something that you should be looking to do. You should be looking to give them an experience, right?
Definitely.
And
experience and community.
Right. It doesn't have to be something that, I would say is overly expensive, or requires a huge investment. I think if you really sit down and think about, okay, where do I need people to go on my website, right? And like you said, is my navigation clear? Is what I name the navigational items clear, right? Is it easy to click on desktop and mobile? Is the content large enough? Am I answering your questions within the content?
Right. And I think, again, using videos on your homepage, that's become really popular. And another stat I pulled was that viewers retain 95% of your message in a video compared to only 10% in a picture. So even, a video can even be pictures that are just edited with music and text that's scrolling by. That's considered a video too. So Dollar Shave Club, Glossier, two brands that do a really good job at creating a community and have really good loyalty. They, definitely use that for their website design.
Exactly. One of the things that really struck me with Dollar Shave Club is this area up here. Okay. And so it's get started, products, how it works, right? So they're answering every question if you're interested in this, right?
Right.
How does it work? What's the process that I have to take to get started? What's the replenishment plan like? So on and so forth. And then I love this video that they have, because they have a commodity style product, which is, it's a razor. You can go buy that for 50 cents, right? But they're really trying to sell you on an enhanced grooming, I would say. But the way that they target everyone is that it's enhanced grooming for every man.
Exactly. They really use diversity and run with it. And I think that's only going to grow with all brands creative. That's what people are looking for nowadays. That's what people, can relate to and find trustworthiness within a brand. I think I might have mentioned this before, but with millennials, so your future market, the biggest thing that they look for with a brand is if they share the same values as them. So it's not really about having the most beautiful model anymore. It's more about, can I relate to this website? Can I see myself using these products? And do I feel good about using these products?
Right. The other parts of their homepage here, their headline, get a personalized top shelf grooming routine. We talked about that word personalization, and I love that they used it while they're showing you men of all walks of life. As we go down, you get to basically see their entire product line here, right? From deodorant to the creams and potions and all that, and soap, and as well as the razor there. And then you get to see, how does it get delivered to you, right? So from start to finish, you don't have any questions, about how am I receiving it? What's the quality? They also have a great deal of supporting products and supporting content too. So if you have, questions about shaving bumps, ingrown hairs, right? Stuff like that relates to this practice. They have answered all of those. And it's not just they're not just trying to get you to buy something. They're genuinely trying to be the resource for shaving.
Exactly. And I think another great thing about the second block of the website, so where they show all their products, that's another thing that I see it's really common among successful websites is, someone might be coming to your website just hearing about your brand for the first time. And when they come to your website, they don't really know what your best seller is or what you're all about. So being able to shove that in front of their face is really key, because you don't really know. It might be someone who's coming there who's gotten your product before and they're just getting the same thing again. Or it might be someone who's open to buying the entire product line and trying everything. So that's a great way of serving both types of customers without losing anyone. So that's, having best sellers is really great. And another thing I see, not on this website, but on a lot of others, is they'll have like kind of like a pricing strategy where, you know, they'll have bundles of products, and then they'll have, you know, the largest, probably most expensive one that says recommended or most popular stamped on it. So, I mean, I always want to do what most people are doing. So, okay, this one's the most popular, so this is the one I'm going to choose. And then it pushes all the extra products or services to you. Right.
That's a really good point. And, you know, along that line, we're doing 2 conversion optimization projects now. So one is a B2B company that sells call answering. It's not this one. They're a competitor. And it's also a horse product company too, that has lotions and basically grooming and health supplies for horses. And so, you know, this is not just a B2C, you know, direct to consumer marketing tactic. This is something that B2B marketers and businesses really need to pay attention to as well. And so, you know, this is a great example of a website illustrating some of the points that Dania was just bringing up, right? If you were to, you know, click on an ad, and if you were looking for an answering service, right? Some of the elements of this website are just awesome, right? And so there's a very happy image here. There's absolutely no question from the headline here about what they offer. You know, day or night, rain or shine, 365 days a year. And the initial action that they want you to take is to click on their pricing. But let's say that you don't. You know, as you scroll down the page here, they do a really great job of presenting the benefits of their service, right? And then getting into some of the features of their service, right? And so as marketers, we have a very simple formula that we like to follow, which is clear, direct headline, benefits, features, some type of social proof, or pricing, and call to action. That's the makeup of a really great page, right? And as you see here, they start to get into, here's their social proof. And they basically present that. Here's our call to action again. They present that in almost exact order to what we tell all of our clients to do. And, you know, they do a fantastic job. And to illustrate what Daniel was talking about, so plans and pricing. Oh, yeah, wait, I can fill that out really quick. I want to show you guys.
Now we know your passwords.
Yeah, right. And so, you know, what she was talking about is this here, right? So in plans and pricing, you know, you said that you wanted to see what most of their customers choose and where you might fit in like them. This is a really good illustration of that. So it gives the best value. You know, you can also look at more. And so you see the full suite there, but
and it's important for, sorry to cut you off. It's important for customers to feel like they're making the decision, because when it feels like you're just pushing a product at them, it doesn't feel personalized, like we were saying, and it feels too salesy, and they're just going to go to another competitor and see what options they can find there, because people are always going to be comparing, finding the best value. They're not going to pick the very first thing they see. So when you have that all laid out for them, then maybe they'll just pick from all your pricing plans. They won't go and switch to another competitor.
Exactly. Yeah, and so we're sort of battling this now with not battling, but we're just getting started with two different clients. One is a product and e-commerce shop, again, that sells products for horses. The other is a B2B answering service. And so in both cases, the content on the sites, I would say, is really thin. It was disorganized. What I try and get every business owner to do is what's the last time you actually visited your site? When's the last time you Googled your own name and you saw all the various links that are there? It could be competitors running ads on you.
Yep.
It's analyzing the very first listing up on Google for your brand, as well as what the supporting listings are, right? So if you need LinkedIn to show up, or Glassdoor, or Instagram, or whatever, sculpting the experience really starts there. And then please visit your site and try to look through it, right, the way that a user would. And is this easy for them to learn all about you and to answer every question that you hear them asking through the phone lines?
Right.
Extremely important.
Yeah. Again, like I said in the very beginning of the video, it's really important to just, before you do anything, write down on a piece of paper the process of how a person will buy your product or service, and all the questions they'll ask, all the steps they'll take. Maybe like for the ring sizing, they might visit, Wikipedia or a different WikiHow for how to size my ring. No, you should do that on your own website so they don't leave your brand. So I'm building diverse content on all of that.
Exactly. So, we've talked about building good quality traffic to the site, where to go to get discovered. Okay. All the various top discovery platforms. We've talked about what needs to go on the website itself. And so, really take honest inventory of what's on your site, honest inventory of the navigation, of the creative elements like videos, images, taglines, headlines, subheads, and so forth. As well as what the makeup is of your product and service pages. Are you answering all of their potential questions about that particular product and service? So that sort of brings the traffic and the website, optimization portion home. But as we all know, most people do not convert the first time they visit a site, And we outlined this earlier, where there's typically a 22-day buying cycle. Okay. And within that 22 days, there are 32 touch points that they make with your brand and also some potential competitors as well. And so you want to make sure, and this is the nurturing portion, you want to make sure that you are nurturing these individuals, helping them steer that conversation, right? To let them know that you are the absolute best fit as a product or a service.
Right.
And in doing so, go ahead.
The best way to do that is with retargeting campaigns with your warm audience. So I think Ronnie was just about to explain. You can do that, pretty much on anything, but we tend to do that on Facebook ads and Google ads, and they're very cost effective. Ronnie, you can explain what you're going to say.
Oh, sure. So, basically the cool thing today, and I would say the really big advantage that we have as marketers today, is all of the tracking capabilities. And so when someone visits your website, or even visits a specific page on your website, or stays a certain amount of time on your website, we're able to put all of them into a retargeting bucket and send ads to them later, right? The same thing is available up on Facebook and Instagram. If someone watches a 5-minute video that you upload, or if they've Googled, your company Instagram page and have landed on your Instagram page and seeing all of your tiles there, you're able to then retarget those individuals as having previously interacted with your brand. And so some cool things to be doing is really coming up with some kind of a follow-up sequence, right? And it could be a
Mm-hmm.
follow-up ad retargeting sequence, or it could be a follow-up email sequence too, if you have some kind of an email capture form up on your website, right?
Right.
And in ad sequencing, this is your opportunity to reiterate the important values and differentiators and, you know, sometimes pricing strategies of going with you versus a competitor.
Correct. Yeah. And another thing to mention, when I said everything's very cost effective when you're retargeting,
Mm-hmm.
usually with most of the clients I see on Facebook, with the same budget allocating towards the cold prospecting, the first campaigns, if you spend the same amount or even less on your retargeting campaigns, I find that the frequency score is a lot higher for retargeting.
Mm-hmm.
And the frequency score basically just means how many times an ad is shown to one person. So like we said, you have to touch them at least 32 times. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're just if you're just expecting to do that through organic and cold prospecting, it's going to be really expensive. But once you use retargeting, then you can target people based off of, you know, their different interests and make it more specific, as well as they'll see it a lot more. So they'll never forget about you.
Exactly. You know, and, you know, Dania just brought up a huge point, that word frequency. Okay. In advertising and marketing, two things that we look at to judge the effectiveness of our media strategy is the word reach, which is how many individuals we're reaching with our current budget, and
Mm-hmm.
frequency, which is how often our ads are getting in front of those individuals. Okay. So those numbers are very important, because you don't just want to show the ad one time, right?
Yeah. They'll forget about it.
Yeah. You know, on as fast as everyone scrolls up on a mobile device, the likelihood that they're going to pay attention to your ad the very first time it's shown is very unlikely, you know.
Right.
But that's where the cost effectiveness of digital advertising comes into play, because you can keep resending them that ad a few different times. Like, you know, we want to send it to them at least 3 to 5 times, you know, to make sure that we give the ad a fighting chance to be seen and noticed, and for the user to take action on that. Okay.
Right.
And retargeting is a fantastic way of getting your frequency in front of individuals that are previously engaged with your brand, to get those frequency numbers up, you know. And the technology today is just so expansive that, you know, not only can we, you know, retarget Dania because we know that she went to, you know, the page about pink rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we can also sequence her out ads to show her. So, you know, okay, after she left our website, show her this ad, then show her this ad next, then this ad next, and so on and so forth. And it allows you to sequence out all of your content and your sales ideas.
Right.
So that she can assimilate to one or, you know, hopefully all of them.
Right. And then once you see how many of those ads get clicked on, so let's say a testimonial video got clicked on the most, then you know, okay, people really like this video. So then maybe, you know, in the future, you can create more content like that. So it's also really great for testing out new strategies, which I always like to say.
Right. Exactly. You know, I think I'm going to share the screen one more time here. Oh, I think Dollar Shave Club. Bear with me, I'm still learning StreamYard. So I think I think Dollar Shave Club really does a great job. I know a lot of these are retargeting ads, so these are going to individuals that have previously visited the website, but they're starting to, you know, answer more questions, right? Like hate ingrown hairs. You know, here's a video. Here's how we've solved that. A testimonial. You know, do you hate paying for pink razors? I like that. So they're trying to bust into the women's market.
Yeah.
You know, and then 2, you know, basically just retargeting them with your whole product suite as well, in some kind of a really great offer, right? So, you know, now you can also retarget them, not just to further educate them, but to also give them a promotion to help encourage action.
Right.
That's what
I
we're
think
seeing.
another really good example is Masterclass. Oh, that's a good one.
That guy. Now that's an example of really great
Diversity.
Yeah, diversity and discovery content too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I definitely stopped to watch that one.
Yeah, Masterclass. I think Masterclass is on
They
here.
do a really good job for advertising on YouTube. I've been getting their ads almost every single day, and they have really good videos that are informational where they'll have a little snippet of, obviously Masterclass is, about learning about different specialties. So I'll learn something really small and then it makes me want more. So then every time I see a new video that I'm retargeted by them because I visited their website before, it makes me want to, visit their website again and see, oh, what other new stuff do they have? Maybe I should invest in this, blah, blah, blah.
I was looking at this one. I was pretty intrigued with the Anna Wintour one.
Yeah.
And so she's the editor of Vogue.
Right. US
She's
Vogue.
the Devil Wears Prada, right?
Yeah, basically.
And so it's cool though, because in this particular video or in this particular option that they give, she's teaching you how she leads a team, right? And so it's really good for owners or directors or C-suite staff. But no, they have done a fantastic job with all of their content and with their follow-up too. They do a great job of telling the story of what their product does, as well as the people behind the product, right? Who are you learning from?
Right. And they have a large amount of different topics. So I think having retargeting campaigns can be really good, but it's important to switch up your content a lot because, maybe they, saw the ad, they digested it, they liked it, but now they need something else. So it's important to, with a client we have who does physical therapy, we do a lot of retargeting videos. We make sure to change up that video maybe every other week, at least once a month, to get optimal results.
Exactly. And that's a good point too, because when the quarantine hit, she sort of like fully bought in on going live, which was fantastic. So she goes live all the time up on Facebook. And so, of course, going live increases your reach, right? So Facebook, organic content, is kind of, really the reach of that has really slowed unless you're going live, and the reach of that really climbs.
Right.
And so she's done a great job of doing her discovery by way of going live. But then after going live, all of those videos are stored in the back of YouTube, and we're able to run ads on them, right? And so what Dania does is she's able to go in the back and send those videos out to new potential prospects. And they're really good videos too. So she has a very niche service, I would say. So she's in physical therapy.
Towards women.
Right. And so the type of content that she produces, and also in branding herself as the expert. I mean, I've been hearing she's getting very well recognized, and she's getting in front of people that never knew there was a solution to their problem before.
Right.
And that is the whole point of all of this, is making sure that you're producing and you're optimizing enough content and you're optimizing that message to perpetually get you in front of more new prospects, but to also show them that you're the trusted leader, the trusted product, the trusted service provider to fulfill their needs.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any better way to show that you're a leader in a market than making informational video where a viewer gets a value, they learn something after they watch it, because then they'll just want to watch you more and, trust that you have the right idea and opinion.
Exactly. So, before we go, I want to do a quick recap of what good retargeting ads and nurturing ad sequencing is. And so, in my opinion, the actual content types that that work, I don't want to say best, but are most effective at keeping people engaged is continue to send them helpful how-tos that relate to your particular product and service. Send them testimonials from a variety of customers in different demographics. Okay. And then I'm going to say most importantly, but it goes along with the other two, send them offers, right? Send them coupon codes, send them discounts, send them something that makes them take action faster, right?
Right.
A little urgency to it. So those are the ones that I like to utilize best. I don't know if I left out anything in there.
I think you did a really good job at summarizing, especially with that urgency. Maybe that's something we can touch on in a future video, but even if maybe the deal doesn't actually go away in a month, but putting a timestamp on it really creates people to act a lot faster and, make a decision faster than they normally would compared to a competitor who just has a standard price. So that's a really good point.
Exactly. Close the deal. So, okay. Anything else?
I think that's everything.
Awesome. Well, like I said, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. I could go on and on. I think this is where marketing meets advertising, right? Where art meets science. Okay. In optimizing everything. So optimizing your discovery content, your discovery channels, your discovery process, optimize the website. And then remember, the secret sauce is in the follow-up. Okay. When they visit the site, you have got to have a follow-up strategy, right? Either retargeting ads or try to get them up on an email sequence. And guys, you follow this process, I promise you will make more sales.
Yep. All righty. Thank you guys for watching.
Exactly. Thank you so much for watching. If you need more information on us, visit soudmarketing.com.
All right. Bye.
Till next week. Bye-bye.